You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And what you've just been listening to is the ultimate in recorded sound. It will make all conventional disc and cassette systems obsolete. It's dustproof, scratch-proof, digitally recorded, read by a laser, and it's called the compact disc. And that's it. The biggest revolution in the recording industry since the invention of the long-playing gramophone record, but this is no ordinary disc. Just 12 centimeters in diameter. The music is recorded onto it digitally, and there's no needle being dragged through a groove. That information is being read by a laser light.
KFI AM 640, it's Later with Mo Kelly. Tech Thursday, as a matter of fact. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Marsha Collier joins me in studio. Marsha, have we been prone to hyperbole with these technological inventions over the years?
I think some of them, I mentioned this last week, some of them are just on the edge of ridiculous, and I forget what major. Remember that pin that came out? It was an AI pin that you were supposed to talk to, and it was a pin that you wore.
PIN.
No, and nobody wanted it.
No.
Mm-mm. Some major company just bought it for $250 million. I mean, it's...
Well, I guess maybe you want the technology and use it in some other application.
That's it. And all this ridiculous tech that we see, that's where it is. By the way, you were talking about Gene Hackman.
Yes.
Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.
I never expected that performance out of him. It was so the opposite of everything that Gene Hackman ever did. And with you, Miss Tessmacher.
Miss Tessmacher!
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect. He was amazing.
You think about that cast, even Ned Beatty. That cast was so underappreciated, I think, for its time, because the movie came out at a time where superheroes, Superman, I don't think the movie was taken as seriously back then as we would have now.
And I remember sitting and watching that because I was a DC crazy as I was growing up. And I still have the early Lois Lanes and stuff like that. And I loved it so much. I wanted to grow up and be Lois Lane. And when I saw Christopher Reeves flying with Lois Lane, oh my goodness, it was magical.
That first Superman movie with the John Williams score.
Yes.
I don't think we have the superhero industry today without that movie. Yes, you could say Batman 1989 was big, but I think it goes back to Superman.
Absolutely. You know who it goes back to also? Alexa.
Go ahead.
Well, this is the tech segment, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So we're talking about technology now, and a star of many lives is Alexa. And I hope your Alexa didn't do anything when I said that. I have personally unplugged my Alexa. I did not want it listening all the time.
And it is listening all the time.
All the time. And it seems that, it's getting better. The Seattle company, obviously Amazon, is going to install even better AI products and services that it will sell to businesses and other organizations.
You mean our data along with it?
I have a feeling. that might roll along with it. Amazon executives say Alexa will now identify who is speaking and know the person's preferences, such as favorite sports teams, musicians, and foods. They demonstrated how a device-powered Alexa Plus could suggest a restaurant, book a reservation on OpenTable, and order an Uber and set a calendar invitation. But we know that Google can already do that.
That's right.
But you have to ask it.
It's polite in that way. It doesn't just do it without, any type of prompt.
Pushy there, Alexa. No, you spend $40 a head for 6 people. But so it's coming into your house if you continue. And I assume it's going to be free to Prime users. And it will be $19.99 a month for those who...
What?
Yes.
What? It's more than $200 a year.
Yeah. I read an article today, though, and people don't want to use AI. I mean, you can take all this noise and every story I pick up, and that's why I picked the stories I had today, because it's not AI-centric. It's because people don't want to spread their private details. We have too many security cameras at my house. I want them out.
But there's something, for me, there's a difference between help and assuming control. And there's certain things that I don't want to relinquish to a computer entity.
Well, how about that little Amazon drone that's supposed to be in your house that when you leave gets up? It's the little drone. It's about 4 inches. It pulls out of its little station, and it has already mapped out your house, and it patrols your house while you're gone. It's a Ring device.
My house is not that big, thank goodness.
But think about it. You've got open mail. Mm-hmm. You go through your library. What books does this man read? Let's catalog that for Amazon.
Well, it catalogs where the windows and doors are and the soft points in your security system.
So we can't even go there. I wouldn't buy it. A real quick thing. I mean, yeah, I could tell you more, but make your own decision on that if you really want Alexa to have in-depth conversations with you.
I don't know. See, I don't want that. I want there to be a clear delineation. I don't want it in the context of an actual person. Well, I want it to help me with my life. I don't want it to assume the role of a person. There's a difference. And
they're including also AI systems built by the startup Morpic.
And for those who don't know, the word anthropomorphic is to be human-like.
Right. Yeah. I'd like Rosie, remember, from the Jetsons.
We're basically there with the exception of the physical.
But why are the ones we have now so scary looking? Every robot they build is scary looking. The ones in the cartoons are better.
Because they're trying to get and there's an actual answer to that, because they're trying to get the facial expressions right, and they cannot make the face look human.
And that's what I'm saying. Make it a cartoon. Make it a cartoon.
Just make it just a box. I don't need to have a face with 2 eyes and can pull its cheeks into a smile. I don't need any of that. That's weird.
This is all weird. Beyond everything. One last thing before we go.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever worry that you'd drop dead alone in the house or somewhere and nobody would know that you did, just in case they could resuscitate you, or your heart stopped beating and you fell down? And
only since I turned 50.
Right?
I'm being serious.
For those of us over 45, right. I have to include myself. When you have that kind of fear, it's a real fear. Like, we don't even know what happened to Gene. I mean, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Google today received clearance from the the FDA for a loss of pulse detection feature that will be in the Pixel Watch 3.
Okay, I'll probably buy that for having nothing to do with this. But is that loss of pulse detection for the benefit of the wearer or the benefit of the person who finds you? Because the moment that there's no pulse, I'm quite sure there's a fading consciousness at that point as well.
Well, okay, if your heart stops beating from an event like a primary cardiac arrest, respiratory or circulatory failure, overdose, or poisoning, and it will automatically prompt a call to emergency services.
Ah, okay. Like crash detection.
Exactly. Well, they've done a great job with crash detection, fall detection, irregular heart rhythm notifications,
mm-hmm.
and the ECG app and safety check. I mean, lost pulse detection is another step, and the fact that it has been cleared by the FDA, I think, is important.
I think that's something I would look into. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Yes, we'll miss you, but we still love you, Gene Hackman.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Why buy just a video game from Atari or Intellivision? Invest in the wonder computer of the 1980s for under $300. The Commodore VIC-20. Unlike games, it has a real computer keyboard. With the Commodore VIC-20, the whole family can learn computing at home. Plays great games, too. Under $300, the wonder computer of the 1980s, the Commodore VIC-20.
Coming soon, Commodore brings you Gorf, the Wonder arcade game, and Omega Race in home versions. Commodore.
I hadn't in television, to tell you the truth. KFI AM 640 is Tech Thursday with Marsha Collier. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. What were you going to say, Marsha?
I was throwing in my quarters at the arcade. I was just like, Pac-Man.
It was a big deal to be able to have video games at home, and that was right at the beginning with the Atari, the Intellivision. That was the closest thing we had to home
Remember
arcade.
Early Wolfenstein?
Of course I do.
Leisure Suit Larry?
Yes. Look, that's my era.
Yeah,
yes.
Those were great.
I actually worked in an arcade when I was 17, 18 years old. It was Aladdin's Castle in Del Amo Mall. Oh. I thought I was in heaven. Working in an arcade, I could play, when I wasn't working, play all the arcade games as much as I wanted, all day long. I had a literal key to open up the games and play as much as I wanted. There was no better job in the world.
That's great. As a matter of fact, I had a business back in the olden days, and I did marketing for different shopping centers, and one of those shopping centers had an arcade in it. So when I came in to meet with management, the nice guy who owned the arcade would give my daughter a silo of quarters and let her loose. And I knew she was taken care of. I have a pinball machine at home.
I love you.
It's old Chicago. It's an old machine.
No, I love playing pinball. I'm old enough to say, I remember arcade games when they were only 1 quarter.
Right.
Just 1 quarter.
Right.
Not the 50 cents, not the $1, but 1 quarter.
And when that shiny ball came down the chute, and then you'd pull back ever so, and you thought you was really going to control things by the way you pulled it back. Pew!
I was never very good at pinball. To tilt the machine was a moment of shame.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I was just never very good at it.
I was never strong enough.
Yeah. Oh, no. I got very angry and bumped it around. But that's not why we're here. Why we are here is for you, Marsha Collier.
Okay. So back to technology, because I know that's why y'all are here. I know they'll get back to the good stuff later. You've used antivirus software.
Absolutely.
Over the years.
McAfee, malware, Malabytes, that kind of thing.
Avast?
Avast, yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you know?
Did I know what?
Did you know that the FTC found the company collected information on religious beliefs, health concerns, political leanings, financial status, and location without user consent and sold it through a subsidiary?
I did not know, but that's my assumption with any company because data is currency.
Well, that's now. But this was then. This was, 2014. So it seems that they
got a lot of people's data.
The FTC didn't like the idea at all. And they reached a $16.5 million settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, which I don't think is enough.
Oh, no, not for for the privacy violations, and the money that they've made subsequent to that. Of course not.
And that number includes compensation for users who bought Avast software between 2014 and January 2020. Now, I'm one of those people. I always got a weird feeling about Avast. It always wanted more. It wanted more installations. It wanted more
permissions.
We've got this and we've got that. And I said, no, all I want is this. So I dropped them. But customers can start to claim refunds from the settlement now. According to the FTC, if you're eligible for a refund from Avast, you will be notified via email between February 24th and March 7th. And the notice will include, really important, a claim ID, so print it out. Even if you're not deleting it, print it out. You'll need this to complete the Avast settlement claim form online. And they'll have phone numbers. If you need extra help, you can do it. You have to file your claim by June 5th, 2025. And it just really pisses me off. And I wish we get more money out of some of these big company pockets.
It's not going to happen, but it's nice to have dreams.
But in other notes, two-factor authentication.
Yes.
Do you apply that everywhere you go?
As many places as possible. A lot of things now, like even with Instagram, you don't even have the option. You have to have some sort of two-factor authentication.
Exactly. And Google blows me away, is going away from two-factor authentication with SMS codes. And SMS codes, for those who don't know it, that's texting, and Google or somebody else will text you a 6-digit number or something, and you have to go back to the screen and type it in or tap, and it copies over.
Pain in the butt.
Right? Especially if it's on your phone and you don't want, it's like, oh.
Yeah, my phone is in the other room. You're saying I got to go get the phone just to log into my email?
Right. But yeah, they have to do it. But that's the source of phishing. People who have been phished, a lot of times the numbers phished means they've been defrauded via email, or data has been stolen from a marketplace or something, and it's on the black market. People will buy these numbers and they will try to log in to different services. And you'll all of a sudden get an SMS saying, to log in, just use these numbers. They're trying to find out which numbers are active. So it's been bad. So what Google is going to do now, they've been starting to prompt with passkeys. And I was going to do a whole thing on passkeys because, frankly, what's a passkey? There are a billion ways to do a passkey, but I don't have all time for it. Let's just say there's a thing you can plug into your phone. There's numbers. The passkey I use on some apps is my fingerprint.
Fingerprint on mine.
Because that goes to Google.
Yeah.
But they're replacing this with QR codes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they say you take a picture, you scan the book. Let me just tell you, it's a lot easier for Android users. Just go to the Play Store, download Google Authenticator. There are a billion authentication apps, so do not be fooled, except only the original. Google Authenticator. And when you open that, it gives you incredible options.
Let me jump in there. I have Google Authenticator. My only problem with it, it's not easy to figure out how to use.
Exactly, because there's a blank page.
Yeah.
But when you press the cross in the lower right-hand corner, it says scan a QR code or enter a setup key. You will start seeing QR codes and setup keys more and more. They're just going to start doing this. And I highly recommend that you use this free app and be sure to download just Google Authenticator.
It's one of those things, it'll take you a while to get used to it, but it's actually quicker once you master it.
It is quicker. And QR codes, I've been using them forever because I thought they were cool. And then I stopped using them when I realized they could be phishing. And that's the thing, you have to be careful.
You always have to stay one step ahead of the would-be thieves because they're always looking for a way to intercept your information.
Yeah, if you're looking at a sign and it has a QR code on it, double check to be sure it's not another sticker stuck over the real QR code, because that's another way for them to pull data from your phone. And that's kind of why I'm here. I want to give you information to protect you and make you happy to enjoy the tech we have.
You gave a lot of information, but also I'm quite sure you inspired some questions about that information. How can they further follow up with you?
If you go to my website, MarshaCollier.com, MarshaCollier.com, and go to the contact page, there's a contact form. I don't save anything. Why? Why do I not save anything? Because I don't want a list. I do not want your information. I do not want the responsibility of any of that nonsense. So I don't save it. Contact me there, and I will answer your questions. And by the way, thank you to the people who have sent me compliments. It really made me feel good. You guys are great.
Stefan? Wolfenstein. Oh, that's right.
He's got the gun.
It's been so long since I've heard that.
You're walking through the halls. Now we going to turn a corner soon, or are we not going to see any Nazis?
How do you know about Wolfenstein and you're not even 40 yet? You got to. This is like early 80s.
When you said Aladdin's Castle, I almost lost. I just lost my ass. I was like, that was my place.
We're from the same area,
exactly.
So yes. Aladdin's Castle was the stuff.
We need to find an arcade and all of us go out and play.
Oh, live remote.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think who. Now, Tony Sorrentino has his own personal arcade in his house. He has 12 stand-up arcade games. One of the engineers here.
He built he's got like a fighter jet one even.
Yes, he does. We sit down in it. Yes.
Yeah.
I also have a 1930s Mills slot machine. It's a nickel slot machine. And if you want to play the slot machine, if you want to keep the winnings, you use your own money. If you just want to play it and have fun, I'll give you rolls of nickels.
I learned something new about Marsha Collier every single week. I did not know that.
Oh, I have a jukebox, too.
I think I knew about the jukebox. I didn't know about the pinball machine. I didn't know about the nickel slot machine.
Yeah, I got.
You got a roulette table, too?
No, but I used to have
Baccarat?
craps.
Craps? Okay.
Yeah, I did have craps.
We got
I
to
had
go out
some
gambling
fun parties.
Marsha Collier, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. Just don't play double six.
No?
No.
Okay.
Or is that double eight, whatever that is, in the corner?
I don't play craps.
Yeah, well, you get 6 to 5 if you do it on the...
Is that a hint? Is that like, look at the clock? Fine, Stefan. Okay, we gotta go.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
As we were talking about tech more generally and AI specifically, maybe you're familiar or not familiar with the idea of singularity. That's the moment in which machine intelligence surpasses human intelligence. And the CEO of Anthropic says we're on that threshold and we could be reaching the moment of singularity in about 12 more months or so. And scientists have been debating this for many years. And there's a question of whether human intelligence and its known limitations can be surpassed by machine intelligence. And most people believe that might be either unlimited or much less limited than human intelligence and what that means for society. And without getting too deep into it all, when we get to quantum computing, there's no telling where our scientific discoveries, our medicinal discoveries will go. And that's what computer scientists are trying to hurry up and get us to quantum computing, which, and I'm not a computer scientist, but I understand that quantum computing would put everything we have now to shame and be able to make millions and millions of calculations per second in a way that traditional machines today, like you and I have, simply cannot, based on the binary system. I am not as much of a fatalist. I'm not as much one who's predicting Armageddon when it comes to AI. I do believe that we have a lot of growing pains that we've yet to go through with AI because we're kind of fumbling around in the dark. I don't believe, though, we're going to end up with Skynet. I don't believe that we're going to have Terminators running around. I do believe that there will be some unintended consequences of it, but not to the point of Armageddon going to undo the world or somehow the machines are going to take over and eradicate all humans. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're only 10 years from that, but I just don't get the sense that, well, let me put it this way. Science fiction never happens that fast. We still don't have the flying car. There are a lot of things in the Jetsons we still don't have. We still have only gone to the moon. We haven't gone to another planet. We're not as far along scientifically as I think that we would want to be, or we fancy ourselves. Tuala has come into the studio. That means here comes the conspiracy theory. Go ahead.
No conspiracy theories. I just welcome the singularity. I welcome the idea of technology, AI, and the advancements that it's making to surpass humanity and become self-aware, because that therein, my friend, is going to be when everything changes. Everything changes when Our technology is thinking and challenging us in just everything. Like, oh, no, Mo, I don't know if you want to go to that website to look up this news story. You might want to go over here. And now you're having an argument with your AI program that's automatically installed in your computer.
I believe they were already there. I don't think we need there are a couple of things that we're debating here. Self-awareness of computers. I believe since they are close or on par with human intelligence at this point, they probably have reached a level of self-awareness or computer self-awareness, whatever.
Computer self-awareness, yes.
I'm not going to get into the whole soul, id, ego discussion of what self-awareness means, but I'm quite sure there is a level of awareness at this point as far as the Turing test. In other words, would it fool a human? Mm-hmm. I'm quite sure that it would fool most humans at this point. The best AI out there, programming, probably could fool us. The stuff that we don't have. I'm not talking about the stuff that's on your phone. Yeah. I'm talking about the military level stuff that is being used for other projects and not for general public consumption.
I believe in our lifetime, we will see a Supreme Court case wherein AI argues for personhood. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that we are moving so fast and without any forethought for what it is we are creating, what it is we're programming, that we are going to come to that point where someone will try a case wherein they believe, be it a Google program or an Alexa program, whatever, they believe it has gained actual personage by way of awareness.
Mark, where are you on this? Have we reached machine level consciousness?
We're at the point where I think I need to reread Isaac Asimov's I, Robot. This is no good for anybody. You heard Marsha reiterate what we've been saying here over and over again. Nobody wants this. The people who are pushing it are the people who stand to make money on it because that means they don't have to pay human beings enough to live indoors. Nobody wants this.
Well, the people who want it, to your point, there is a monetary application. There is a monetary, carrot for all this. They want it, but not the general public in the way that you're talking about.
Yeah, the people who want it just don't want to have to pay a human being. That's it. And just the fact that we can do something is never a good reason to do it. I don't know what achieving a singularity will do, because the other thing that occurs to me, also as an ex-philosophy degree holder, is that we're kind of passing each other going in opposite directions. Human on the way down, computers on the way up.
Agreed.
I mean, education is getting more unaffordable and out of reach for most people, especially liberal arts education, which makes us more human.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Best test maker.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 is Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. And Twala Sharp, this paid promotional moment is brought to you by Waymo.
Look, this is in no way, shape, fashion, or form a paid mention. This is merely a defense of the future of technology, the singularity on four wheels, what have you. We talk about Waymo all the time. Most of the time, it is me defending these ridiculous claims and bogus reports that you all come up with, slandering and besmirching the good name of Waymo. Okay? You never want to highlight the times when Waymo is driving as you would yourself correctly. Just last night, downtown LA, 2 cars were on the sides of a Waymo. The light goes green. One car tries to overtake in the bus lane, no doubt. You're not supposed to be driving in the bus lane. First of all, you're a car. You're not a bus. Tries to get slick, speed into the bus lane, swerve over, while another car thinking, I'm going to go around the Waymo, tries to go around almost into oncoming traffic where they try to merge. The Waymo's like, what are these fools doing? The Waymo slows down, goes around, waits for the cars to take, and then just goes slightly around them and goes about his business. didn't honk, didn't give either driver a runner, causing more.
It had no fingers.
They could put some type of graphic on the window. They don't want to do that because they already know the Waymo will be having to give runners all day long. That's not what they want. They want the Waymo to stay safe, stay driving the way it's supposed to. And I believe that this is what Waymo is all about. And if you ask CEO Dmitry Dolgov, Dmitry, you know Dmitry. Look, driving, and I'm quoting Dmitry on this, driving can sometimes be nerve-wracking. But in cases like this, where Waymo has provided a clear-cut case as to why it should be the future of robotaxi and driving around, sometimes artificial intelligence prevents collisions every single time.
Are you sure you're not paid by them?
I am absolutely positive. You know what? If this was a Elon cyber bus, if they were still in business, I can't even remember the other name of the competition because they've gone away. Cruise, yeah, they've gone away already. They're about to go back to the drawing board to catch up with Waymo. I just want to make sure that we're all clear that this is actually the way it's going to be. You were behind a Waymo recently. Don't try to bury the fact that you were recently in traffic with a Waymo and you witnessed nothing but purely good driving.
Okay, so there were days that John Wayne Gacy didn't kill people. Doesn't mean that it was a good person.
You cannot try.
Ted Bundy didn't kill someone every single day.
Mass murder.
Gacy was a good clown.
That's not fair. That's not fair at all.
You got that right. It's not fair. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call the Law Brothers at 800-222-2222. The Law Brothers have a billboard specifically to address those grievances of people with autonomous vehicle crashes. In fact, the billboard says, I have a picture of it, autonomous vehicle crash, ? Get Waymo with the Law Brothers. Did you see what he did there? Waymo.
Waymo money?
Exactly. Waymo. Get Waymo with the Law Brothers. 800-222-2222. That's a real company.
Wait, Mo, you should be suing.
Yeah, let's just take this to its logical extension here. Mo, you need to be their spokesperson.
Are you getting paid? Did they throw Mo in there by somehow?
It might have been just coincidence. I'm not a paid spokesman, but I would endorse that. I'd endorse the hell out of that. Get Waymo with the Law Brothers. 800-222-2222.
That phone is going to blow up now.
Yeah, it's going to blow up.
Now, Chihuahua, when you say that you haven't been paid by Waymo, are you saying the check's in the mail?
No, they pay him with other stuff. I think it's like strippers or something. It's not like monetary. It's like Plugola. It's not payola.
I know.
Bolivian marching powder. I got you.
This is I cannot believe it.
K-19.
I cannot believe what's happening right now. Mm-hmm. This is absolutely horrific that you two would stoop to such new lows.
Yes, look at the time. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
More stimulating talk. No login required. KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live.